Hey guys, I'm Ludgina and welcome to TreadChic. You guys, I'm so excited to have you here today because as you can see, I'm not on the treadmill, but I know many of you have reached out to say, hey, let's talk more about some of the things that you talk about on the treadmill. And I agree, because the direction that I want to take this channel is not just the working out, but looking at how we can all live a preventative lifestyle, a life where we're all aging well and doing things so that we can prevent disease and all of those things. So I want it to be more holistic. And so the things that I talk about on the treadmill, we're going to talk about today and all the time. So I wanted to start out with this one. So we're going to call this like Tread Talks, even though I'm not on the treadmill, but it's going to be like a Tread Talks type thing. Tread Talks with TreadChic type thing. So again, I'm Ludgina, and again, so thrilled to have you. So you guys, what is going on with our health? So many things are going on with our weight, with all the things, with our sleep, with our stress, all those things. And so today I'm talking about, okay, we're going to start off with things. Let's talk about things that are so important for us to live that preventative lifestyle, right? And what is a preventative lifestyle? It's a lifestyle where we live a life where we're preventing disease. We're not waiting for the disease to happen and then do something, but we're preventing it before it happens. And if we have it, do things so that we can avoid it. For instance, if you have high blood pressure or you're type 2 diabetic, lifestyle modifications that will either remove it, because that happens, right, with lifestyle changes, or just preventing the disease. Because I want us to add life to our days and days to our lives. And many of us, unfortunately, have FLC syndrome. Do you have FLC syndrome? Do you know what FLC syndrome is? Dr. Hyman coined this term, and it's called the feel like crap syndrome. People are walking around feeling horrible, tired, feeling sick, feeling bloated, feeling unenergetic, low sex drive, your hormones are out of whack, etc., etc., etc. And it's a lot of times the things that we're putting into our bodies, because believe it or not, guys, what we put into our bodies, the foods that we eat, programs our bodies to do exactly what we give it. If we give it crap, we're gonna feel like crap. If we give it the good, real food, we're gonna feel energetic and feel good and ready to go throughout our days. So we have to know and understand what we're putting into our bodies. However, let me go in order. Let's talk about all the things that we are going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about movement and strength, nutrition. We're going to talk about sleep. We're going to talk about stress, chronic stress, purpose, social interaction, and mental stimulation. And we're just going to touch on these things, but these are the types of topics that we're going to get into more depth throughout the course of my time here. These are things that are important so that we're not only just working out, because sometimes we work out and we still feel like, you feel good afterwards, but then throughout your day, you're still tired, because you can't have one without the other. If you're not sleeping, you're only getting 2 hours of sleep. You may have worked out, but you're still going to be unenergetic because you didn't get the rest that you need. And during sleep, a lot of stuff happens. But okay, you guys know I talk a lot. Let's go in order, right? So first, let's talk about the movement. Movement is medicine. We have to have that movement. So crucial in everything. Movement and strength training. For me, those go hand in hand, because if you don't strength train, that leads to injury. So with our cardio, with all that we're doing, it's important that we strength train, because that builds muscle to lose the fat that we may need to lose, or just for our physique. We may not be trying to lose weight. Some of you may not be trying to lose weight. Others may be. No matter where you are, it's important to incorporate both of them. Movement as well as strength training are very important for our lives, not just for our heart health, for our brain health. Because again, we're trying to make sure that we're aging well. A lot of times people think, oh, well, it doesn't matter to me. It should, because life is going by fast. And we want to make sure that as we age, that we're living like we're in our 80s and 90s, we are feeling good. We're feeling strong. We're able to go out for walks. We're able to do things. So the better we treat ourselves as we age, the better we'll feel later on in life. Okay, so movement and strength training are so important. So I want to make sure that if you're not moving at all, to at least, if you're using my workouts, fantastic. Doing cardio at least 3 to 5 days a week. Okay, and then strength training 3 to 4 days a week, building up to that. If you haven't started strength training, I don't want you to go all out. You're going to make yourself feel, you're going to tire yourself out. You're going to be sore and you're not going to want to do it. You're going to say, oh, I don't like it, because you did too much too soon. That's not what I want you to do. If you're on a journey, a movement journey, or you're trying to lose weight, in the beginning, you may just be getting that cardio in, trying to incorporate that. Later on, I want you to start adding that strength training. Or if you are already into cardio, it's important that you incorporate the strength training. And I'm not talking about just like 5-pound weights where you're just like doing this, but I want you to feel the resistance. I want you to feel like your muscles are working and they're growing. And once your body when you're on the last rep, for instance, it should be difficult. That last rep as you get there should be tough. If you feel like it's easy, then it's time to move up. It's time to increase those weights. But for me, when I was on my journey of starting to strength train, I used to use something called Body Pump with Les Mills. That's what I used, and I would run as well. Or if I didn't have any time, I would do T25, because that was just 25 minutes when I had my second child, or Insanity. I've done those things, and I just incorporate anything that would fit into my schedule. That's important. Anything that would help me get to my steps or get at least 30 minutes of cardio in, I did. So that's the important piece. You do what you enjoy. You may not like treadmill workouts, or you may like doing them once a week. Whatever works for you. Do not force yourself to do something that is not for you. So many people are just like, girl, what do? You do Zumba, I'm gonna do Zumba. And then you don't enjoy it, and then you end up stopping. It's so important that we make sure we do what we enjoy for at least 30 minutes a day, okay? And again, I'll leave information below about the importance of all this, but these are topics that we're going to delve deep into throughout the years, okay? All right, so we have the movement, strength training. We have to make sure we're incorporating those things bit by bit, especially if you're in the beginning of your journey. If you're at the beginning of your journey, just starting out with trying to get 10K steps in, like you may work out with me and then go outside for a walk, or just get some movement in on the treadmill, or in another way, just get those in. And then later on, we're adding in that strength training to make sure that we're building muscle so that we're strong, our bones are strong, we're building bone health. That's such a crucial thing as we age. We prevent osteoporosis, all of those things, because as we age, our we start to lose muscle. I think as early as like in our 40s, we start to lose muscle. So we have to build it so that we can make sure that our bodies are developing the right way, so that we can do simple things like raise up our arms, or sit down on the toilet, or climb stairs as we're in our 80s and 90s. Okay, you guys, I'm a speech pathologist that works with the geriatric population. I see what happens towards the end of life, and I see what can happen, and I see I see both sides. I see sides where people are vivacious, doing really well in their late into their 90s, and I see those that can barely do anything. And sometimes it's because of how we lived our lives. A lot of times back in the day, people weren't strength training. The research is in. Do it. Don't neglect it. It's not a flex to say, oh, I don't strength train, I don't do this. Work out, take care of yourself, please. It's so crucial. All right. Next, you guys, nutrition. Nutrition is such an important thing. Eating real food. And again, we're just touching on these things today, but these are things that I want us to all think about as we're on our journeys through life, because we're not just trying to lose weight for a specific event, but this is a journey that we're on, so that and it doesn't end. We're always evolving. We're always changing. All of these things are things that we're not saying, oh yeah, I'm just trying to go to my a party. There's one of this vacation. I want to lose the weight. No, it's a journey that goes on. We have to incorporate these things so that we can age well, live a preventative life, and that way we live well through every single day, not just on certain days, but all the time. And that's what I want for us. Okay. All right. So nutrition. You guys, the ultra-processed foods have to go. I need you all to read your labels. A lot of us are by, oh, I eat well. And then when you go to your house, I look at these labels, I have friends, and the stuff is filled with junk. If you look at the back of a label, if you look on the back of a package, you look at the label, and it's a whole bunch of stuff that you can't read, you need to get rid of that food. I don't even care what it is. I need you to start having more real whole foods, real food, okay? It's crucial, because let me tell you, over the break, I did a little experiment on myself, eating the goodies and all the stuff, the dairy, all the things, and let me go into it. Process is different from ultra processed, because when we cook something, it's processed. So I mean ultra processed foods, the foods that have all the chemicals, the red 40, the blue, the myglycerate, all the stuff that is stripping our bodies and wreaking havoc within our systems and messing up our gut. That gut-brain connection is skewed because when your gut feels bad, your brain, you can feel foggy. It all programs this. So I'm telling you, the food that you put into your body, affects you and programs the way you go throughout your day in life, all right? So the junk we have to stop. And I understand the 80-20 once in a while, absolutely, but there are many of us, the days are filled with over-processed foods. You start off your day like that and you end your day like that and you feel horrible even though you're working out. So you may be working out, but then if you're eating like crap, you can't outrun a diet that is weighing you down. And over the break, like I said, I did this experiment. I gained like 10 pounds, guys, from a few days of eating this stuff. As I'm getting older, you guys, I'm in my 40s and my metabolism is slowing down. I'm very good about taking care of myself, but these foods will mess you up. I'm telling you. And so while I'm in a place where I know how to understand my body, I know how to stop it, go back to eating real food and continue with my working out and strength, and that'll that'll slide off. But there are others that gain this weight and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight. And then you get stressed about it. And then you keep eating the same nonsense and you keep gaining and gaining until you get to a point where you're so down and you feel hopeless. You feel so much hopeless. You feel hopeless. You feel like, oh my gosh, I can't lose this. And then you stress out and you keep eating. And it's like this endless cycle. So it's so important that we tackle all of the things that I'm going to talk about today because we have to find a balance, that real food. I have this menu that I have on Etsy. It's like a whole food shopping list. And it's like, I think $2. I will add the link below. I'll add the link. It's on Etsy. If you want to get it, it's again a list that shows you real food. So we have to read our labels and we need to drink water, okay? So make sure you're hydrating your body to flush your body out, to feel good, to hydrate your cells. And electrolytes, think about the electrolytes in your water. We don't have to go out and buy expensive things. Sea salt into your water will add what you need into your water so that it can flow through your cells. And I'll try to leave some information about that below as well. Okay, what are we talking about next? Sleep. You guys, we have to stop saying, girl, I didn't get any sleep last night. Oh, I don't sleep. I'll sleep when I die. You guys, you will head to a straight early death if we don't stop sleeping. I know for myself, it was just like, it was a flex for me to say, I only slept 4 hours last night. Oh, I don't need to, I just don't have time, but we have to sleep. During our rest, even with all the workouts that we do, the strength training, that's when our body has time to repair, because when we work out, we tear those muscles. When we lift weights, we tear those muscles, and it is through our sleep that our body regenerates and works. Even with our brain health. Guys, there's so many different things that can happen to us if we stop sleep, if we don't get enough rest. So it's so important to find out. If you're having trouble sleeping, find out from your doctor what is going on. Perhaps you're lacking magnesium, perhaps you're lacking a vitamin. Get down to the root cause, because we need to get at least 7 hours of sleep. 7 to 9 hours a night is great. I know that's hard for many of us. I know for me it's tough. Like I find myself struggling with it. But I have to make it a priority because I want to make sure my brain is doing what it's doing, because you guys, the tangles in our brain that leads to things like dementia, sometimes where I realize there are certain people, no matter what they do, they're predisposed to certain diseases, but that is a small number. Many of us, it's the environmental things that cause the disease. So if you're not sleeping at all, you have a lot of stress, you're wreaking havoc on your body and you're leading yourself to disease that are preventable, okay? So sleep, 7 to 9 hours, we need to sleep. Next, stress. You guys, this is something that I think many people struggle with, and it's a real issue. Chronic stress, like whether it be from your work, whether it be from taking care of a family member, or different things going on within our family that cause chronic stress within our bodies that leads to inflammation. A lot of these things we're talking about lead to inflammation within our bodies, and it's not helping us. And I don't have the exact solution because everyone is different. But there's some people, whether you do things to try to relieve yourself of that stress, or trying to pinpoint what the stressors of your life are and trying to relieve those things. So perhaps, of course, if you're a caregiver, You're going to be that caregiver, right? But making sure you take the time. Do not feel guilty for taking time to reduce that stress, to relieve yourself of that stress, taking the time for you, doing things that you enjoy, taking the time to go for a walk, taking the time to breathe, taking the time to meditate, going for a yoga class, going into the sauna. You have to choose what works for you, but you have to find a way to mitigate the chronic stress, because this is another thing that's leading people to an early death or causing, again, all types of disease. Stress, you need to put that under control. It needs to get under control, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is social interaction and mental stimulation. So as we age, especially as for older adults, a lot of times you're like, oh, I don't want to be around others. I like to do things on my own. It's important that we still get together with family. We do things with others. We go for walks with our friend. Even if you're on the treadmill and you're talking to your friend, like I do that. Sometimes you're on a treadmill and you're just talking to your friend who lives in another town or another state, and you get together and you talk, that social interaction, even if it's on the phone or getting together, going outside, going for a walk. That is so important, that social interaction and stimulating your brain, learning new things, always learning. Even if it's picking up a book for 10 minutes a day, learning something, reading something to stimulate your mind is going to be so important. Learning a language. Again, reading books, getting to a new activity, even if it's only about 10 minutes a day, but stimulating your mind in that way. So that social interaction and mental stimulation are so important, okay? And then the last thing is living a life where you have a sense of purpose. If you're living this life where you feel like you have no purpose, that can wreak havoc as well. A lot of times we're from communities where we feel hopeless. We have no money, we can't do anything, but you have to find some sort of way to live a life of purpose. Even if you are doing really well financially, sometimes you may still feel like, what am I doing? And you have to take those steps to realize, what am I doing? Even with myself, like even with the job that I have, I love what I do. I love being a speech pathologist, helping a geriatric population with cognition. It's really important to me. I love my work. I feel fulfilled, but I also feel like I'm not compensated enough for the work that I do. And I feel like that's my fault, because there's things that I need to do within my life to do more so that I can be compensated the way that I want to be. I have to take responsibility for that. I need to take responsibility for what I'm receiving and how I want to expand on that. Because I'm my best advocate. You're your best advocate. You know what it is that you want to do with your life. So take the steps. Guys, like when I was younger, we were in our 40s. Those who are in their 40s know, or older, 40s and older know that when we were younger and when there was something that we wanted to do or explore, you had to go to the library, or you had to talk to people. But now everything is available online. No matter what you need, what are the steps, you go online, steps to be a this, steps to be a that. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an entrepreneur. Anything that you want to be. I want to learn how to make a garden. I want anything. You can go online and get the information. It's right there. It's right at our fingertips. But a lot of times we ignore those things, put ourselves last, and then we end up getting into a state where we end up living this life and just like, what did I do? I missed. And I don't want us to miss opportunities. I want us to take this one life that we have seriously. We have to take it seriously so that we can live our best lives, living a life that's full of purpose and knowing where you're going. Not just going through the ins and outs of the day, but knowing where we're going. Even as a mother, do you want to be a better mother? How can you do that? You want to be a better spouse? How can you do that? Think about all the things that you want to improve upon and do it. So often, many of us can just give up. Do not give up. I'm not talking to everyone, but those that I'm talking to, you know. You have this one life, and you can do in this country, the United States of America, wherever you're watching. You may not be in the USA, but wherever, most places, you can do many of the things that you want to do. You're in this place where you have access. I'm excited that you're here with me watching this video, but I really need us to take all these things that we talked about and really sit back and think about how you're incorporating them in your life with the movement and the strength training, with nutrition, with sleep, with chronic stress, social interaction, and mental stimulation, and just living a life of purpose, whatever that is for you. It may be going for a walk every day. It may be visiting a friend. It may be calling a friend. It may be writing a card to someone. Maybe trying to write a book. It's different for every person. But I want you to take this one life seriously and live this preventative lifestyle. So we're adding life to our days and days to our life, and we are aging well. Many of you may have seen pictures of my dad, my mom and my dad. My dad is in his 80s and my mom is in her 70s. And I'm so proud of them that they've incorporated these things. They really take their health seriously. And I see the difference in them and many of their friends. I see the difference. And I know what taking care of your health and really taking these lifestyle changes seriously can do for you and how you can age. It's in our hands. Like I said, there are some people that no matter what they do, they are prone to these illnesses, right? However, if you take care of yourself, you can get through those issues a lot easier. Like my parents, they've done well. My father has had prostate cancer. My mother has had breast cancer. And thank God they were taking care of themselves. Their bodies were able to fight through. My dad was also dealing with another issue with his white blood cells and not having enough, and went through a tough time. But the doctor said because he had been taking such good care of himself, with the sleep, with the stress, with all those things, that he was able to push through those things. And it was tough. I sometimes just like, oh my gosh, is my dad going to make it? And there's other things that have come up with health. But because of the way he's taking care of himself, he's been able to push through, and his body's been able to fight because he has been building himself up. So no matter what, I'm not saying disease won't happen. I'm not saying things may not happen, but we have to make sure that we are doing the best that we can, the best that we possibly can, to live a healthier lifestyle, so that when things come, we're able to push it through. We're able to fight, okay? But if we can prevent those things, absolutely. But things will come. Things may come. But you want to put you in a position where your body's able to say, because you took care of me, I can take care of you. Because you fill me with so much amazingness, I can now use all of this that I've had in this storage for you as I help you heal. So make sure these bodies, what God has given us is amazing. God has given us these amazing bodies. Many of us destroy it. Many of us destroy it. We say, Jesus died for it. The Holy Spirit lives in it. We better take care of it. I think that's by Rick Warren. He said that. But please, guys, we do not want to continue to suffer from FLC syndrome, feel like crap. No, we're going to feel good as we move on, thinking about all of these things. I am thrilled that you took the time to be here with me today. If you enjoyed this talk, please let me know if you'd like to see more, and keep up the great work. And remember, with every step that you take, to spread more love, joy, and positivity. I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. Bye.